not that very impressive. Okay? But, so when this post, Bruce, is a total disrespect to those 4,706 persons, right? Mr. Padat has to remember that as a member of parliament for the area, people will come to him. And I don't think you are required to walk with your party card to say which party you're with when you come into him, for him to do his job as a member of parliament. He put himself up there, offered himself to serve the entire constituency of Princestown, not the UNC of Princestown, even though clearly this post shows that is where his mindset is. Because in my view, what this post is basically saying, well, I couldn't care less which PNM constituent in my constituency X. Or you like my post, or they could kiss me association. That's why basically telling people there, 4,706 people, because all they like to run all them out. 309,000 people voted for the UNC in the last election and so on. And anything that the government does that you all find disrespectful to these 309,000 people, you all make an issue of it. But you wouldn't find an issue with Padarat talking about they wouldn't pay HDC. You know what's getting me upset to that? Apparently, these people have a list of everybody who renting from the HDC, renting these apartments where the rent is $100 or $125 or whatever. So they know everybody who in arrears is PNM. Apparently they have nobody who supports the UNC in these areas, right? But I recall for the last general election of 2020, they were boasting, you see, yellow flags and yellow jerseys. Port of Spain gone yellow. Duke Street, Nelson Street, Lavant Hill, Beetham, Sealats is only yellow. Huh? Who live in there? Uncle was boasting that you all had growing support in these areas. So what happened? These people, they fool all here? Or did you know that they were not really supporting the UNC? Because if you think they are, they will. And you are saying that you have all of these supporters. Are you saying that none of these people who supporting the UNC in all of these areas where the rent is $100, that none of them delinquent? And you know Central love to call in and talk that talk, eh? But PNM people ain't paying their rent and PNM people ain't paying their rent. 300 million is now down to 130 million Central. 300 now down to 130. And that 300, the government that you supported, the party that you support, when they were in office, wanted to liquidate that 300 million for pennies on the dollar. Because as I said before, they offered these people to purchase these houses for $100. $100. No requirement for you to satisfy any outstanding arrears. So let's say there were 1,000 people, probably less than that, but let's say 1,000 people took up the offer. And let's say all this $300 million in arrears was this 1,000 people, right? And you offer them the house for $100. How much money the HSC would have collect for that? $100,000. $100,000 out of 300 million. And that made sense to you all, Central? That make economic sense, right? If they had taken up that offer, you know what happened? Today, the HDC would have had no recourse to collect that money, and the 170 million that they've collected so far in the last 6 years would have been gone with the wind, Central. That was UNC policy. That maths does maths, eh? Here Kamla say the maths and maths in the budget, but that maths, that is maths, yeah. Kamla-matics, that making sense. Okay? The 170 million that they collected. But this disrespectful, let me keep it radio friendly. Right? Barry Father. What they like to call when it is in PNM constituencies, where they're discriminating. But that's not discrimination here. So is it now that any PNM supporter who wishes to go to the MP in Princestown because of whatever issue they have, but they had to go there hoping that he don't know they supported the PNM? Or is it if he feel you look like a PNM because apparently, you know, you all have some kind of special radar you could tell a PNM from? Yeah. Is that it? See, level of disrespect. That's why David Naked get up and walk out the people TV station yesterday. No shame. But one of the activists, well, I don't know if he's a former activist, God Christopher, all over the place vexed because Rhoda Barrett walked off of a particular program the other night, right? But she came off the program because she felt she was being disrespected, she was being attacked.
Yeah.
Oh God, Christopher, she was wrong and she was disrespectful and rude, but I don't find David Nackett was disrespectful and rude because he couldn't have his way. Because if he had done his research, he would have known Natalie Degordo stand BS.
And?
So come correct. When you go into an interview with Natalie Degordo, she'll put you in your place. And he got put in his place proper. And he couldn't handle it. And he ran off like a little child.
Something really wrong
a
with
wimp.
him. Something really wrong with him.
Bruce, that elevator ain't going all the way up.
Yeah, boy. I watching that and I saying, but what's going on with this man, boy? Something really wrong with him,
Very much so. Yeah, but who put him there? Put him there. Bruce has sent in another picture to show you how the disrespect continues. Okay. Ah, boy. Never a dull moment with these people. You know, so they griping about the pigtail and the cricks, sausages and so on. All these UNC supporters. For Levex are calling all that's all their business. Neither here nor there. Because don't change the price of coffee. But all these things they gripe about, him but take off, they feel a thing, they take off that off of cricks and pigtail and this and that. Bruce, I recall just a couple months ago, right? You know, when all these UNC supporters who were suffering and they was picking up hampers all over the place. Remember Ian Allen and Angela Ramdeen, they were having hamper drives and they come with your trolley and they have all the tables line off and you go, it's like a supermarket and you pick up what you want. What was it? What was the people picking up, Bruce? Were they picking up caviar? Were they picking up steak and lobster? Were they picking up champagne? Tell us now. Were they picking up sirloin steak and all of these things? Or the very things now that they're complaining that is all that the PNM could offer people. That is what was in your basket, in your hamper, that you were so happy to collect.
So true.
You're forgetting that? The sardine, the cricks, the chubby, all these things. This is what you all were happy to get. And the government ain't doing nothing. But look, Ian Allen giving us hampers. Inshan Ishmael giving us hampers. What had in it? What it had in the hampers?
Moscato.
Yeah. Bruce, you have a picture there?
Yes, sir.
Put it up for me, please.
Right. Utter disrespect.
Bruce, what is the caption say in that picture?
How to catch a PNM supporter.
Right. How to catch a PNM supporter. What they have, for those of you who are listening and are not seeing it, they have a box with the words, with a sticker on it, how to catch a PNM supporter. And under the box, they have a pack of cricks, a tin of Vienna sausage, some pigtail, and they have Colwyn dressed as a gnome with a golf club in his hand and a PNM supporter whining in front of the box. And there's a stick holding up the box. So the impression is that when this PNM supporter goes under the box to get his stuff, the stick will fall out and he'll catch him. The box will fall on him and catch him. Right? To catch a PNM supporter. That's the level of disrespect. These people have no shame. Well, you know what should happen, Bruce? Just as we have safe zones and you're required to show your vaccination card, should put it that when you go to the grocery, if you are UNC, since you have issues with all of these things that the government take VAT off of, walk with your UNC membership card and show the cashier so they will know to charge your VAT. 12.5%. No VAT off for you. So you may want it. Right? So let's continue to pay all your VAT. Since it ain't making sense what the government has done. So walk with your UNC card and say, hey, look, proof here. Alright, UNC, you all are not in support of these measures to assess the poor. Alright, VAT for you, 12.5%. Simple. But you see, the problem is there's so little in the budget for them to disagree with. So little that they can criticize. That's the only thing they could find. And talking about, and this next clown, Douglaya Politics, on his program yesterday morning. Oh, it's only 8 items to take VAT off of. Apparently, he didn't hear the minister say that the full list will be released by the 1st of November. But I see a preliminary list came out yesterday. There's far more than 8 items on that. First of all, and that list came out with the caveat that from time to time, the minister will remove VAT off of other items as funding allows. Yeah. So as if it is that the government's financial situation improves and they could afford to forego this VAT, they will add other items to the list, right? But up to now, but they're still talking. All them things he take VAT off of Kamla, they take VAT off of that. Kamla take VAT off of 7,000 food items. Bruce, we are 6 years later and I'm still asking, what was the 7,000 food items?
Dominic, you know what is 7,000 food items?
That's how it is catch a UNC. say you take VAT off of 7,000 food items, right? Yeah, to catch a UNC. So that's what we had to do. Do a box. For the same stick, you see the same box that I have on that? But under the box, just put lies. Yeah. Put mama guy. Propaganda. That's how you catch a UNC. They seem to be attracted to propaganda and lies, misinformation. See, nothing of substance. Easiest way to catch them. 7,000 food items. Much all when I go to the grocery, you all can identify, you can call 7,000 food items to me. Really? The same thing I'll buying every month. Now and again, you might stretch your hand a little bit and buy something extra. About 7,000 food items. No, let's take that easy and clap in that. Yes, come on like the poor shit. Yes, like poor people.
7,000 food items?
Yeah. Not one of them could tell you was the 7,000 food items. You know the deception, Bruce? So they will talk about peas and they will list the different types of peas.
Had to be. Yeah, had to be.
Yeah.
And if that the case, now everybody get a memo.
Yeah.
Yeah, now everybody get a memo.
They will talk about juice and they will list the different types of juice. As I said before, that is how it's catch a UNC. Just draw
7,000 items is by item by brand. That would be checking that.
Yeah. So they will say pigeon peas, green pigeon peas, dried pigeon peas, processed pigeon peas. The same pigeon peas, you know. Or we just listen in different forms. Yes. And again, UNC like propaganda. Easy. At least, you know, it takes something of substance and value, if all you want to say, to catch a PNM. Well, you don't need that. Yeah, they just need to come and tell you some piece of stupidness, and all you run with that. Yes, we support it. Bruce said in another video. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Let me show you how the disrespect continues. I'm gonna get it. In case people don't know where the guy who they have the PNM supporter, right? There's a video that has. Okay, I don't understand why it's not sending. Oh, come on, why are you doing with this money? Should I come through there?
Yeah, I know singing it.
Mm-hmm. But I continue to wait with bated breath, Bruce, tomorrow to listen to Mrs. Prasad Bisesa.
But I can laugh from now, you know.
Yeah.
I can laugh from now because at the end of the day, I don't know that. Yes, now, you hold your horses. You don't think yet. You wait for me. It have nothing to talk about. It have nothing to debate about. They should just come there tomorrow and say, thank you very much. Nice budget. And let we move forward. That is all should be said tomorrow.
When they hear again about how much 1,000 people lost their work because petroleum shut down, and how many people on the breadline, and how the citizens suffering, and the starving, and the struggling, and how many people are affected by the pandemic, and how many people still waiting on salary relief grant. That's what the same rehash.
Just what Let me be respectful. Just what the footballer was trying to say yesterday.
Yes.
That same thing you mentioned, the grants. Yeah, they come in to talk about that. That's one of the things. That is one.
Yeah.
That is one of the things.
Coming to hear that they raiding the Heritage and Stabilization Fund, and they only borrowing a set of money, and the debt to GDP ratio is so and so. That's all she coming with, you know. I am putting it to you, Bruce. She will make very little reference to the actual budget statement. All we're going to hear is a set of platitudes and, you know, just generalization.
As I would just say, they go dance around the table.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're coming to do. Because when it is that you have almost every chamber of commerce, even chambers of commerce in their strongholds, are praising the budget, praising the measures and the budget. Here and there you would have one or two so-called men and women of letters who want to criticize little things here and little things there, you know, just being petty and nasty. But in the main, because even Terence Farrell has indicated that some of the measures that have been announced in this budget should have been implemented years ago. You know, so by and large, the budget has received a very good grade from the wider society. Those who are in the know and those who know how it's going to impact on them. I see where the head of the Supermarket Association is now complaining that he's opposed to the introduction of VAT or the implementation of VAT on certain imported fruits. Now, again, Bruce, same people who complaining about the food import bill too high and problems with foreign exchange. We can't get Forex to bring in this and we can't get Forex to bring in that. But you're complaining now because they put VAT on certain fruits that coming into the country. How are we paying for these fruits? Not with the same scarce foreign exchange that all they can't get. So obviously, if you put VAT on it, and if it is that you see a reduction in demand, it's not going to kill anybody if it is you all import less.
True.
Who want it, let them buy it. But at the end of the day, you all can't be telling me that we need to buy local. Let us produce more here so that we can reduce the food import bill. And when measures are put in place for some sort of attitudinal change that could impact that in the short term while we waiting because fruits don't grow overnight. That could at least have some impact in the level of demand, so less foreign exchange will be leaving the country to bring in fruits. Because, I mean, remember we importing water.
Yeah, boy.
We importing Zephyr Hills. We importing Voss. Imagine that. Trinidad and Tobago needs to import water so that people could be bougie. I could walk around with a Voss water bottle. You see? I buy expensive water. You see? Zephyr Hills, you see? Look. Yeah, I don't drink Blue Waters and Oasis and Dasani. No. Meanwhile, millions of US dollars leaving the country so that we can bring in water. So when I go by the high-end grocery stores, like, I ain't gonna call no name, but I know how to talk about it. One is having Westmall. The one that has a branch in Ellerslie Plaza, you know? The one along Circular Road, where only the upper echelon shop. Yes. We must differentiate ourselves from the rest of the waterfront ilk by drinking certain brands of water. You will not see other brands in our house, even except for if we buy water for the help. Yeah. Bruce, play my video for me, please.
It have no winning.
I see the caption when you hear pigtail free.
Oh, gosh.
Right?
Eh.
When you hear pigtail free, they have a problem with pigtail. But I bet you some of them, they love a barbecue pigtail too bad, you know. Oh, big vat of a pigtail. How much pigtail you go eat? How much curry you will eat? Yeah. Every weekend, every other day, it's curry duck, curry this, curry that. Really ridiculous, so. just like to oppose for opposing sake. Anyway, we also have one more video to play before we open the lines. To the first one I sent, right? Now the video is embedded in the story.
Oh, so I have to...
Yeah. Now, I've listened to a number of people offer their views on the debate, right? And there are certain people you expect to hear certain things from because we know what their political position is. We know who always accustomed criticizing the government for whatever reason. Yeah. So nothing new. You don't expect to hear nothing good come out of their mouth. But I must say, two people who disappointed me greatly. Well, I heard Mariano Brown refer to the budget as a great con job. Right? We know Mariano Brown is no fan of Colin Burt. He's no fan of Keith Rowley. So, I expected that from him. But I noticed of late Karen Nunes Teixeira appears to be very, very critical of this government. She's very passionate about the procurement legislation. And so much so to the other night, I mean, she seemingly went out of her way because she was one of the panelists, I think, on CNC3. She went out of her way to be critical of the budget, couldn't find anything good to say about it. And of course, a lot of the things that she said were debunked by the Minister of Public Administration, Alison West, where Mrs. Nunes Teixeira would have said, well, if we look at the allocation to agriculture, it's an indication that the government is not serious about agriculture because such a small allocation, I think 1-point-something billion. And as Alison West had to point out to her, I disagree with you that the allocation should be the sole means by which you assess the government's seriousness towards agriculture. Because while a budget of 1-point-something billion was given, the fact of the matter is that the government intends to engage in public-private partnerships so that where we would provide land in some cases for persons that they would then have to invest their own funds in order to develop the land and to engage in agriculture. Right? So therefore the government doesn't need to invest any money there. The government would have, for a long time, I think profits from sales of agricultural products is also tax-free, and they've also removed that on certain agricultural products, machinery, and the like, and so on. So they've done things to foster and facilitate agriculture as far as possible, okay? Because it cannot always be that the government, and I hate to hear that the government, because all these Trinidadians who own business here and who go into Guyana and setting up shop, the government of Trinidad, they didn't need permission from the government of Trinidad to do that, right?
Sure, right.
They didn't need an invitation from the government of Guyana for them to come. They see opportunity, they have the dollars to invest, and they decided to go there and do what they have to do. I see now even Trinidad applying for citizenship. A friend of mine, I see he posts up his Guyanese passport proudly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the extent to which they go into now, right? But again, I make the point. And that when it is I hear people talk about the government need to do this and the government need to do that. No, because nobody, when they decide to open a business, goes to the government to say, I would like permission to open a business. To this foolishness about the government and the government. All the government's responsibility is to create an enabling environment that will foster and facilitate business, right? If it means that they need to do things to improve the ease of doing business, if they have to offer certain concessions or whatever it is to make it easier for business people to, one, open a business, and two, run your business. Yeah. But who can't tell me about the government this and the government that and all that sort of nonsense, right? Miss me with that BS, right. Please. Miss us with that. So, highly critical. But in this clip here, Denise Soifat Angus, I must say, I'm very disappointed in Mrs. Angus because she was for me, my leading contender for the post of political leader for the PNM and Tobago. I've looked at, observed her over the years and so on, and I like the lady. Yeah. I met her once last year. I think when Dr. Rowley had a media event at government campus, the auditorium, and I met her there, and Dean introduced me to her. I was telling her, no, I'm rooting for you to win. That was at that time they were now in the throes of the leadership election in Tobago. And Mrs. Soifat Angus was interviewed on Morning Brew 2 mornings ago with Jason Williams. And she was extremely critical of the budget. In fact, she had nothing good to say about it. And I don't know if it is that her utterances are motivated by any lingering acrimony that she may feel towards the PNM as a result of how things panned out, first with that leadership issue, and then secondly, her not being selected to contest one of the seats in the last THA election, and her eventual expulsion, resulting in her now starting her own party called the IDA. Right? So, or if it's a case that she probably believes that in order to convince people that her party is independent and separate and apart from anything else, that she needs to be critical of the government. But Mrs. Angus would do well to know that there are people in Tobago who, for whatever reason, traditional PNM supporters who may be a little disgruntled with the party now. In some cases, some of them are disgruntled with the party because of the way that they felt she was treated and how that whole situation played out for her, and may not be inclined to vote in the next election, rather than support the PDP because they know they're not giving the PDP their support. But if it is they're upset and they say, well, I'm not voted, right, that some of these people might look to her as a viable alternative. And she has to remember, there's a saying, once a PNM, always a PNM. Even though you leave, there's always that, whatever is that draw, that attraction to the PNM, it doesn't leave. When you look at what the alternatives are, so even if you're expelled from the party or you're vexed, whatever it is, the fact of the matter is that deep in your heart, you will still have that an affinity for the PNM. So Mrs. Soifat Angus raised some issues in her interview. And I always say, Bruce, if you're going to criticize the government, no problem, because no government is perfect, and certainly Lord knows this one isn't. But when you compare them to the alternatives, it's as close as we can get, right? But if you're going to criticize the government, do it on truth. Do it from a platform of truth. Do it from a platform of knowledge, not a platform of ignorance. And ignorance here, I mean lack of knowledge on the topic matter that you're speaking on. Not from a position of hatred. And so you will say anything that can easily be debunked. And as I make the point again, when we come before this microphone or you go before a camera, you need to understand you don't know who is listening to you. And what comes out of your mouth, there'll be people who are knowledgeable on the things that you are speaking of and could fact check you one time and say you're talking garbage. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, that is the situation in which Ms. Soifat Angus found herself on Tuesday. If you could play for me, Bruce, if you could access the video from 7.5 minutes, 7:30.
Let's see. From 7?
Yeah, 7:30.
Right.
And what its policies are. Take, for instance, as a medical doctor, I really took umbrage to the fact that, they talk about promoting primary care and all these great videos that they put out on what they intend to do with primary care, but yet you have a VAT exclusive list that is a killer. It does not favor primary care promotion. When you look at the list, it's just a number of things promoted to salt, high salt intake, and it really does not give the man on the street the option of eating healthily. You don't even see milk, eggs, and chicken on the diet. Nothing fresh. Everything comes out of a can. So there is a disconnect between what they show in a video and what the actual policies are favoring that. And if we can do, full VAT relief on import of cars that are electric cars, I think we could have done better for the food list that we were putting out there for people.
You're talking about the oil, the biscuits,
the electric,
the canned food,
yes,
and the pigtail.
Yes.
In terms of
canned
the food,
pigtail,
high salt,
corned beef,
processed food.
A lot of processed foods. A lot of processed foods. And one where, should somebody who has any one of those chronic lifestyle diseases go to their nutritionist in that fantastic video they have, I wonder if PAHO approved that list, because if they go to the nutritionist will tell them none of these things on this list you can have. So how are you helping? How are you helping the situation?
I want to wrap up.
Policies have to connect.
We want to wrap, but before that, we have a couple seconds again. I'll just ask you from a medical standpoint, if you was to translate that budget and holistically, not just the allocation to Tobago, if you were to give the budget itself, the allocation for Trinidad and Tobago, diagnosis, a medical update, what would that be, doctor?
What would that medical diagnosis be?
Yeah.
That would be a tough one because I would really put this budget in an ICU right now.
Wow, intensive care, doc?
Yes.
Okay.
Intensive care.
Okay.
Intensive care.
On the drips.
Policies are not favoring the health, wellness, and the prosperity of the people, because when we talk about wellness, our mental health to the nation, we are deeply affected. In the midst of a pandemic, when people cannot put food on their table, when, especially in Tobago, where homes have been passed on for generations, you're telling persons that they now have to go and evaluate this home in preparation for paying for property tax. Regardless of whether it is an evaluation phase right now, it is scaring persons. Persons' mental health is at risk, and they are, they are wondering, where am I going to get this money from to pay property taxes? I am not saying that we shouldn't have to pay property taxes, but the timing is not right. We are in the midst of a pandemic. Persons have not even gotten back on their feet. Many persons have lost jobs. They can't put food on the table. And now you're telling them they're going through an evaluation process to pay, property taxes, and that is really affecting persons in a very big way.
Doc, we want to thank you for coming on this morning with us. We will touch base again soon. I know once the THA elections are called, definitely we'd love to have you back with us. But until then, you be safe, and thanks for coming on this morning.
Right. Because there's so many things wrong with what she said there, right? First of all, at the time of that interview, the full list was not released, so you don't know what's on the list. Right? But you're criticizing, notwithstanding the fact that you, I, and everybody else heard the same budget, but the minister said that the full list would have been released by the 1st of November. We get a little thing, but as he said, it's subject to change, and more things will be added to the list as they go along. Right? So a preliminary something yesterday. But you're criticizing and the full list didn't come out yet. One, you're talking about some of the foods that they put. You didn't see chicken, you didn't see eggs, you didn't see milk. Again, full list hasn't been released, but you jump out yourself. Nothing fresh, everything canned and processed. Bruce, let me read this. This is the amended schedule number 2, zero-rated items effective February 2016. February 2016, not February 2026, all right? February 2016, which was 5.5 years ago, right? First on the list, 1D, whole, skimmed, lactose-free milk, pasteurized milk, evaporated, dry or powdered milk, and dry or powdered skim milk. Did I hear right, Bruce? Did she say milk is not on the list?
Yep.
All right. Going again. She said she didn't see chicken on the list, talking about dietary, right? Nothing to promote healthy lifestyle. The same list from 2016. Number 4, any live bird, fish, crustacean, mollusk, or other animal of a kind generally used as or yielding or producing food for human consumption. Let me repeat that again. Any live bird. Live. Not frozen. Live. So you say fresh and everything processed and in cans and so on. Bruce, you don't think any live bird means chicken? Yeah? I think that's the thinking when they put that there.
You sure?
It's 26. Well, they probably mean ostrich. Pigeon. Dove. Yeah, that's what I mean.
A some go fit in a frying pan, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, whole set deep fry some.
Kobo.
Oh,
that chicken don't fall into that. Since 2016, that has been on the list. And that is why I make the point, Bruce, that when you criticize the government, do it from a place of knowledge. Make sure you know what you're talking about, because you never know who's listening, who is aware, who knows that you're talking nonsense, and will not hesitate. Now, I take no pleasure in calling out Mrs. Soepadanga, so I say I like the woman. But, I mean, just oppose and say what? As I say, you're still vexed with the PNM? You cannot absolve yourself of all blame from what happened. You knew the PNM rules. You are a long-standing member of the PNM. You've been fortunate to serve in several high positions within the THA. But you aspire to higher office and it didn't work out for you. It didn't work out for Joel Jack either. He has not left the PNM. It didn't work out for Mr. Charles either. He has not left the PNM as far as I'm aware. But you see, what the unique problem that Mrs. Soepadanga has in doing what she did there is that people will now say, if you had won the leadership of the PNM in Tobago, the budget would have been deceived. So your winning wouldn't have changed the contents of this budget. Would you have been as critical? Would you have had a problem with anything in the budget if you were the political leader of the PNM in Tobago?
The lady says she put the budget in ICU,
ICU. Right? From a medical doctor standpoint, you're opposed to this and that. And again, Mr. Soepadanga, we ask you the question. Had you won leadership of the PNM in Tobago, would your position be the same? Would you have gone on television and spoken to say, well, as a medical doctor, I think the government could have done this and they could have done that? Or is it now that you're saying these things because of the way things played out? And unfortunately, these are the things that will turn people off. Because as I said, if you are seen as a viable alternative for disgruntled PNM in Tobago who will not support the PDP under any circumstance, and the alternative is to either vote for somebody else who is palatable or withhold their vote, then listening to what she just said there, to my mind, would have turned me off if I was considering giving. And she got 200 and something votes in the THA election in January. And I'm sure a lot of these votes, if not all of them, would have been from persons, PNM supporters, who felt that she should have been the candidate and who decided they would still place their vote with her in the hope that she would win. And if it is that it had turned out a case where the PNM got 6 seats and the PDP got 5 and Ms. Angus had won her seat and she could have made the difference, that they could have still welcomed her back in the fold, which is why I'm sure some people were thinking. But I mean, come on. If you're going to criticize with sense now. Please, because right now you're not looking good at all. I could tell you that. It's sounding just like Karen Teixeira and Mariano Brown and some of the other haters. Whatever is the issue they have with Dr. Rowley, because they were at one time cabinet colleagues. You mustn't forget that. Nunes Teixeira was Minister of Finance and Mariano Brown was Minister of Trade, and he was also Minister in the Ministry of Finance when Keith Rowley was in the cabinet of Keith Rowley. They were good bosom buddies, and all of a sudden now they didn't like I can't say they didn't like the hair on Dr. Rowley, he had quite their hand on, but they didn't like the best bone in his body. But we just got to open the lights. Yeah.
If I can't have my way, then nobody go out there.
Yeah, mash up the whole pack.
Yeah, mash up the whole thing. Yeah. Plain talk, bad manners. 342-0081 466-5391. Caller, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Bruce.
Hey, brother, morning.
Hey, good morning, Dominic, and good morning to the whole team. Punan, and Ms. Sharon, Felix, and all the brothers from Baratarian, Rowley Jr., and Daddy Chan. That statement that Padarat made, that is discriminatory, that is sectorial. And when you are a member of parliament, you take an oath to not serve UNC supporters, but to serve everybody, even people who have not even voted in your constituency. So that is discriminatory, and that is what the UNC here is about. They're sectorial, they're discriminatory, and they're bordering on racism. And that is why the people, and the nice thing about it, Bruce, they don't know undecided votes in their constituency, to talk that. But PNM put up a candidate there, PNM and independent supporters there, and people who haven't voted. So they deal with Padarat. And dealing with, you see Karen and Mariano and all of them vex PNM. I got no time for them. And Denise Soepad's the lady I had liked. Right? Okay, you didn't get the seat that was promised to you. Right? But you see that hole in your grudge till you're dead? Let she hold on to that. Right? at the end of the day, if you had gotten the seat that you wanted, would you have been behaving this way? So the show will go on, and I can understand chicken is already it doesn't have any button on chicken. So people need to do their research. But I'll listen our call back, fellas. So they enjoy the morning.
I see somebody saying on Facebook, they can't come and say that the PNM is doing good. It have elections around the corner. Sean Charles, yeah, sure, right. That is exactly what is going on. If they only
but a pool of the pool of voters in Tobago is such that it's split right now between PNM and UNC PDP, but you have some disgruntled PNM supporters. So if Ms. Angus is hoping to draw any voters, she ain't pulling no PDP people, right?
Sure, right.
It's disgruntled PNM people who still probably see her as being PNM, who might be inclined to say, well, let me throw my vote behind her. But you're not doing yourself any favors by antagonizing the PNM because, as I said, once a PNM, always you could do what you want. Always.
True.
Right?
Caller, good morning.
A blessed morning to you, Botswin.
Hey, brother, morning.
Miss Sharon, Felix, loyal listeners and callers, all who are live. Well, the date is called. And you see how everything that the editorial is so true. You see, all who vex with the PNM, they have nothing good to say about the PNM. They can't say nothing bad about the budget. They can't contend with what is within the budget. Just as we say, all the organization, the chambers, the supermarket, even the used car dealers and all of them saying something in it for them because what? The Minister of Finance listened to what was being proposed by these organizations. If you was showing you. That is what we have in this budget, a listening budget. Because even the unions and all have to go before the CPO now. And according to the PDP, how to pay over by the PSA president and PDP leader. He's telling people, misleading people and telling them that how the Minister of Finance have nothing to do with the CPO, but here we're going with he. In the former administration, he went before the CPO under the now opposition leader and take 5% from the CPO. At that time, who was the Minister of Finance? Hawaii. And when the other unions went in and get 9%, he come out big and bold. I want my other 4% if you was showing, you know. Because it was an underhand deal, under the table deal he did. So right now, he has to go on top of the table because the PNM is dealing with. And people in Tobago, don't be fooled. Only get out and vote for the PNM. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So guys, you call me up 342-0081, 466-5391. But when the fox can't get the grapes, boy. Caller, good morning.
Very good, Bruce.
Hi there, cool. Morning.
Dominic. Morning. And that is always the key, sir, right? All time have some grounded one to come to bring down the party. But it has something that the Hillside does. What I observe, I find, and I said it already, I don't really call, I just see and observe. Both parties have to stay and think about the undecided voters. Those who already believe in whatever party, yeah, right, but you have to think about the undecided voters. That is what is make up and win an election. You understand? And what I noticed too, the Prime Minister in the PNM I'm talking about, that man basically is the man who really put in the fight body. This man getting all kind of disrespect. It has other ethnic group there, them coming out and this thing kind of hammer hurting and that's, I said, but wait, I said, it's only the Prime Minister alone what make up his cabinet, boys. You understand? That'll be hurting me, there's kind of disrespect, but look at this one, the budget day, who put out this thing on Facebook.
This woman should be done a letter sent to her already, the Marcia base, the Dong of the Fire, wherever they call. This lady from Grenada. This disrespectful lady boy. You understand what I'm talking about? What's in this?
Yeah.
The disrespect, boy. There's so much of disrespect. Yeah, because if I want on the next station, the two-pole man, what boy they here? He and me for all them ministers. If you hear this man, why is it people now constantly getting on the home and he don't already getting a salary and he come to jumpy them and all kind of thing, like they want to move the program to the evening time. Yeah, you remember them grabbing at straw, so they will do everything to bust the PNM, but the PNM had to watch the cell. This is what don't tell all this about, it's too comfortable. You understand what I'm talking about? The fact to watch the cell. Help Dr. Rowley from a please. This is why I asked the question and I beg him to give her next 5 years. Please stay our next 5 years. They can't just let the man be taking those and nobody supporting IFRS. Myself help. Ranson and the next one, myself and just somebody, when they have them kind of ethnic things and supposed to come out and condemn them, take out their sit down and like a hush all them, you understand? And Bruce, I noticed I didn't hear any ethnic cleanser from Penal. I don't know what's going on with them, but the budget did, like the budget bring them out. I didn't hear him. Yeah, I didn't hear him. I thought it's like, you know, these days, a human being, you know, somebody, you know, they're sick or they just back. The budget bring out the ethnic cleanser. You hear that ethnic cleanser? I give us way on that budget.
Leave it there, my brother. We have to go to the break.
Yeah. All right, yeah.
So, guys, we're going to the break and we'll be right back. Keep it locked.
Christmas 2020, going to be exciting. Although everybody battling COVID-19, every living human being in the name of Jesus deserve to have a good time celebrating Christmas. This year we go para all over the land, day and night is para. Come and join the band from town to a river. This year we go jam. Drinking punch creamer, eating bread and ham. Last year it was super, the barang was sublime. This year will be greater, we go have a good time. The music much sweeter, the momentum is prime. Welcome to the future, we like men online. This year we go para, all over the land. Day and night is para, come and join the band. From town to a river, this year we go jam. Drinking punch creamer, eating bread and ham. It's nice, we got to make it nice. Christmas nice, we got to make it nice. Family, we got to make it nice. It's nice, we got to make it nice. This year we go para, all over the land. Day and night is para. Come and join the band from town to a river. This year we go jam, drinking punch creamer, eating bread and ham. Christmas 2020.
What is Apex? It is the pinnacle of high-performance vision through a lens. It's clarity, no matter what angle you look at. It's comfort, no matter what you do all day, every day. And it's customized, with every digital measurement your eyes require to see at their very best. Apex Digital Lenses by Value Optical, the ultimate lens design for your eyes. Value Optical, expert care for your eyes.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282 or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
There's only one way to start your week right, and that's with Dr. Livette. Join him right here on your radio every Thursday morning at 9:10 a.m. for your dose of the health and wellness in a program that is sure to change your life. Popular for promoting Livette rather than diet, Dr. Livette has transformed a number of lives nationwide and is now live on the Street 919 FM every Thursday from 9:10 a.m. Tune in on Thursday and also learn about the U-Juice to build your immunities and promote overall great health. Dr. Livette on the Street 919 FM this and every Thursday from 9:10 a.m. It's time that you live.
Trinidad and Tobago Mortgage Finance Company Limited wishes to advise customers making mortgage payments over the counter that the tellers at all our offices will be open daily from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. To make payments online, book appointments, request letters, statements, documents, and access other services, please visit our online customer service center at ttmf-mortgages.com. TTMF, from here to home.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly of number 399 Eastern Main Road, Waiko Sangre Grande, is pleased to present Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson and guests. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Friday night, Sunday Ministry of Worship, Children Hour and the Word from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesdays, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation from 9 p.m. and Friday night, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. all night prayer for our nation. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit with us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org or on Facebook. Email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated at Church of the Firstborn Assembly, account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank.
Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
Police, good day. Officer Best Price here. Johnny Q Auto Parts Division?
Yes, sir.
I'm here to investigate an assault on batteries.
Excuse me, sir?
Is it true you have batteries selling for $488?
Yes, Power Master, Optima, Vata, and Megastar batteries.
So I could buy a battery for $488?
Yes, sir. For cars, trucks, and boats. Backed and distributed by Massey Automotive.
Which part?
Right here at Johnny Q Hardware and Auto Parts Division, 15 Arrowpeter Avenue, Woodbrook. And our new Johnny Q Superstore, located at Lowlands Mall off Claude Noel Highway in Tobago. You could call 60 Tools.
Alright, thanks boss. Nah man. Granny,
do you have $488 to lend, man?
The Street 91.9 FM brings you today's tips to improve your financial literacy. Improving your financial literacy is a never-ending endeavor that needs to be prioritized. As you work on improving your financial literacy, it's important to continue your momentum. Here are your tips. Live within your means. This is one that you've likely heard time and time again, and for good reason, because of how important it is and the significance it can have on your retirement plan. If you want to avoid taking on debt, going broke, and pushing back your chances of retiring at a reasonable age, then it is in your best interest to make sure that your overall spending is less than what you are earning to make sure you are not jeopardizing your financial future. It's always easier said than done, but it's also much easier to practice when you stick to your values and don't worry about how others are spending their money. That was your financial tip brought to you by The Street 91.9 FM.
This is the Street 919 FM COVID-19 updates. In case you missed it, the latest COVID positive cases in TNT as of October 6, 2021 stands at new positive cases 208, total active cases 4,198, total recovered patients 46,093. Total positive cases for COVID-19 as of March 2020 to present, 51,813. Follow the Ministry of Health COVID-19 protocols. Wear your mask, sanitize, social distance, and avoid gatherings. A message from the Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yo, this is your boy Ziggy Rankin, and right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Real talk.
Call out to your neighbor.
Call out to your friends.
Come, let's spend Christmas together.
Christmas time is here. Can you feel it? It's in the air.
I call to one and all. Start up the music. Let's have a ball. What you play the song
while we sing along.
Sorrel in my hand
while we sing Paran.
Children laugh and sing
to the joy it brings.
Eats and drinks for so.
I cheer you know.
To have a Merry Christmas, a Merry Christmas is all we aim for.
So welcome back. Just a bit of information for you. There's something for everyone at Lowlands Mall Tobago, where you and your entire family can enjoy a safe and superior shopping experience. All of your favorite stores, service outlets, and of course food court outlets are open and ready for your visit. Takeaway only available in the food court until October 11th. All COVID-19 protocols continue to be in place for the safety of all visitors to the mall. And remember, no mask, no entry. Visit Tobago's #1 family destination today, Lowlands Mall Tobago, with comfortable air-conditioned shopping and lots of secure parking. Tell your friends and family Lowlands Mall Tobago is open and ready for your visit. Value Optical wishes to advise the public that all 13 branches will now be open full-time to provide expert eye care services to you. All of our regular services are now available. For your safety, we continue to practice the established health and safety protocols, and we recommend that you make an appointment for all testing services. Please call us at 225-4865 or toll-free 800-2020 for all inquiries on opening hours, eye testing availability, and how we can assist your eye care needs. Value Optical, caring for your eyes. For all your hardware, building materials, auto parts, small tool rentals, pets and pet supplies, gravel and sand, don't forget Power Master, Optima Vata and Megastar batteries starting from $488. And it's all at Johnny Q, number 15 Arpita Avenue, Woodbrook, and our new Johnny Q Superstore in Lowlands Mall, Tobago off Claude Noel Highway. Just call 63 Tools. And guys, also at 8:30 this morning, I have a little tune to bus fair. Yes, I ain't saying who it's from. Dominic, no. Angie morning. So remember to get yourselves ready, 8:30 this morning. Right here, Street 909 FM, Titans of Democracy. So guys, the lines are open once again. As we continue to take your calls, 34200.
Just to let you know that the bar is very high. It's up last year's, eh? Right.
Well, boy. I know the brother listening, and I can tell you, and this would be one of two. And I tell you, this one done hit it out the park already.
Okay, all right. Well, I wait with beat it, right?
Yes. Caller, good morning.
Hi, morning, Bruce.
Morning, Jenny. Morning.
Morning, Dominic.
Morning, Jenny.
To all the callers and listeners at 91.9, Mr. Chance, Mother Tinapuna, Miss Zina, all my Golden Girls, Manu, everybody. Credibility, Bruce and Dominic, in leadership or in any sphere is very, very important. And the persons who were part of PNM and became disgruntled for whatever reason, and they want to ascribe to leadership positions, they tend to say things that will make you say, and wonder, had they been still in the PNM party, would they be saying the same things? And that's where the credibility comes. So that's how I watch it. With regards to now, the THA election is December the 6th. So Mr. Watson Duke, is in full gear for the THA election. The Minister of Finance would have given the green light to the CPO to commence negotiations of outstanding arrears and stuff from next year. Watson Duke apparently, as the president of PSA, don't even know, misquoting the Civil Service Act. He don't even know that the CPO boss is the Minister of Finance, and the Minister of Finance, whoever they are, can direct the CPO to start negotiations, stuff or whatever, because that is the boss for the CPO. I want to also tell people who would like to say it's a logical conversation when they say it's good for public officers because they voted back for Watson Duke. You see, when it comes to negotiations for terms and conditions of employment and his salaries, whether or not he is a PSA member, whether or not he ever joined a union in PSA, once you're a public officer, once PSA sits around there, it affects all public officers. So it doesn't matter. It had 5 teams went up and they split the vote and they vote for Duke. It doesn't matter when it comes to negotiation. It affects the 80,000 how much public officers who are in the public service. So for us to get anything, and all the public officers who are not members of PSA, never voted in an election, never joined a union, if all they want us to get proper negotiations, because Watson Duke don't have the competence to sit before this CPO to do anything, because there's nothing there from 1416. All they better get up and demand that Watson Duke don't take part in those negotiations, because we will get nothing. That's what I want to tell people. We will get nothing with Watson Solomon Duke, who is a politician and will not want to sit with the CPO to do anything, because in his mind it will look as if the government doing something good. It's about himself and his party to propose himself, so he's not going to sit in good faith and deal with the CPO on our behalf. So people in Tobago know what to do. Get him out of THA. People in PSA, get him out of PSA and let us get a team in there to do the work so we could get arrears from since 2014 to now. Almost 3 negotiating periods. So don't play with public officers' money. And with Duke, they go play with your money. I'll go on. You'll reach home safely.
Thank you. Caller, good morning.
Dominic and Bruce, good morning.
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 Dominic, if I get to your program on Sunday, I will speak to you. Bruce has like to cut me off. I will leave it there for now.
The man say I just cut him off, yes. All you good or no?
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
The man say I just cut him off or no? Well, boy, you know what you do there. You know open my whole kind of worms with me there. The man say I just cut him off, yes? Caller, good morning.
Good morning to you, man.
Morning, Mr. Policy. Morning.
Morning, sir.
Well, I have been listening. And you hear me at here, Dominic. And
yes, sir.
When I listen, you can give everybody a chance. But I want you to understand. You hear what Levitt here said there? You see, this is the kind of things that they judge. And Bruce is right. Bruce deal with him according to what he did. You see, that is what he always thought. He went on the next program and say a lot of things that I didn't say about him. Concerning Fitzgerald Hines being the national insurance and so talking for him. You see, this is the kind of lies and deception these people and them have been doing. I don't know why you leave it there, don't recognize that he is very, very, very much unavailable with his facts and who he should talk about. Have you ever heard him talk about the opposition leader?
running the lie and the judgment that was made recently? No, it's about Dr. Rowley, and I wanted to know that you do appreciate your lies and deception to get it straight. Gentlemen, I want to bring it to your attention. Quite recently, there were cases concerning the opposition, and to me, we're not seeing it at all in the papers. Are we to believe that we have a media who is very much combated in refusing to bring out truths and facts about the opposition? Well, we all know about the opposition leader. She has a forgetful brain of what she said. So she continues to do the same thing like the song. A further party doing thing over and over. I want to tell her, we are not so stupid in Trinidad and Tobago as you believe that no connection whatsoever has been made between Watson and yourself. Because we could all remember the days of the 5%. And we know what was said by Watson. And all of a sudden, Watson appeared to be a very, very good customer to be able to put millions of dollars to fund a THA election. Dominic, continue on that vein. Assisted by Bruce this morning. Play all the tapes possible. Central and leave it there. It's an abomination of this program. No room for them to spread the lies, deception, and fake news. Thank goodness that Bruce recognized it. Dominic, you also have to recognize it. They always want to disrupt your program. Thank you very much for allowing me this contribution. It's so sorry. I just talk what I want to talk and off. These people and them want to change the program. We will not allow that. Thank you very much. I'm listening.
Thank you, Mr. Porterspin. Man said this cut him off his way. The greatest. Caller, good morning.
Bruce, good morning.
Morning.
Dominic, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Trinidad and Tobago. Morning, Miss Sharon Felix. Bruce, top point in the house.
Hey. Welcome, man.
Well, thank you, brother. Bruce, I want to touch on Dr. Angus a little bit.
Go ahead.
Now, Dr. Angus, I had Dr. Angus in high esteem, Bruce. Well respected. You know, after a while, I had to take away my kudos from her. And I want to tell Dr. Angus something this morning. Never bite the hand that feeds you. Never dam the bridge that you cross. Ungratefulness is worse than witchcraft. You see, Dr. Angus held high secretarial positions in Tobago. She was never an assistant secretary. She holds secretary's position in different divisions. And for how Dr. Angus carry on now, I'm very disappointed in Dr. Angus. Even though you leave, you get divorced from your husband. Right? You don't have to run down your husband in the worst way all the time when Ali was married. You're enjoying the best. Right? And, but Dr. Angus, go where God is in control. Another thing is, the election period in Tobago goes. Now, I want to appeal to all the people who sitting on the fence, all the right-thinking Tobagonians sitting on the fence. Go out and vote. All the disgruntled PNM who didn't vote because they didn't like the way how they treated Mr. Charles. We all didn't come out and vote in January. Now is the time we have to go out, vote, stain our fingers, and send a message to the PDP people. Tobago is on the road to development. Look, we get more money in this budget that we did in Parliament recently. Are we going to throw away board in hand for border bush? No, I will not do that. So please, Tobagonians, forget all the red chicks that coming from the other side. Let me come out and vote. Support the PNM, forget our differences. Mend our differences. Now, there was a level between the present political leader and Mr. Charlie. They remarried recently, and I congratulate her for that. So this is to show you that we mean business in Tobago, as Mr. Archer said. Politics is serious, serious business. You know, like, you know, and Bruce, it have a set of political grasshoppers in Tobago in the PNM, you know. Plenty political grasshoppers, I'm sorry to say this, political prostitute. I don't know what's wrong with them. They feel getting in the DHA is like going in a fridge or going in a pot and dipping out a plate of pillar one. But it's different. It's a different kettle of fish. It's very serious in politics. Politics is a serious business. So, Bruce, that is my contribution for this morning.
Yeah, man.
I'll be calling, you know, Monk St. George. Mr. Monk St. George, I want to find where you live. This is Strong Point here. I want to find where you live in Tobago. But I'll catch up with you. All right, Bruce. Always ready the rest of the day.
All right, take care. Hello, good morning.
Hi, morning, Bruce and Dominic.
Morning.
Bruce and Dominic. I just listen to people like Mariano Brown, and to get a little insight on the budget. For years I've been doing that, but I can also safely say no. For years doing that, the forecast coming from Mariano Brown for all them years never come true. And one of the things that I look closely at is the Quico matter and how his way of how it should have been handled. And thank goodness he wasn't any part of our finance ministry or leading that charge, as a matter of fact, because I have seen recently where the former Quico chairman or president there, he has lost a judgment in court that they put up the fight to get back the game. And I can understand for what, as a man who has all these sort of accounting and math certification in front of him, his name, was saying things about the government to just hand back Quico that the company, after the government has put in billions of taxpayers' money into it. I couldn't fathom that for nothing. Every time I do my math on it, it always comes out wrong. And you see, you depend on fellas like them to give you insight. But what I have started doing is that listen to what the finance minister is saying before he read out the allocations on how the budget is going to be allocated in money to be spent in the ministry. Listen to what he is saying there. It may be long, it may be tiring, but if you listen, then you'll have an idea on where the finance minister is trying to point the country. So now that he have read it and I understand what he was talking about, this is one of the most balanced budgets. I mean, it's for the conditions that we are in today with this pandemic that nobody catered for worldwide. We're in a good place. That is what I saw in the budget. And for people to just nitpick to find, okay, talk about pigtail and all this other nonsense, I mean, the government is doing their part to reduce food prices. And some people think that the government could just demand on the private sector to remove to drop prices. That cannot happen in the system that we are running in Trinidad and Tobago. It's a free trade. Our businessmen could leave here and go Ghana, Puerto Rico, wherever, and sell the product. And the government can't tell them on what price to put on the product. The manufacturers, the wholesalers, the distributors, the government cannot direct them to how to sell the products. It's a free trade. That is why these businesses become billionaires overnight when they have the product under supply and demand. But I always tell the consumer that we should be more serious and band together. And if we find it too high, just go buy the product. Don't depend on the government to tell them to drop the price. The government not supposed to do that. They're not supposed to interfere with the way the business people and them run their business. What the government role is to assist them in developing and producing more by helping them in international markets and putting laws and things in place that they could further the business. That's what the role of this any government is. So we have to educate one another.
Wrap it up for my buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Guys, remember, we have to be mindful of other people calling, right? I don't want to cut off nobody, so let us be mindful, guys, okay? Caller, good morning.
Bruce, 2 weeks ago, when I was telling Dominic, let Dr. Rowley go, you didn't cut me off, Bruce. Tell me the truth.
When I was, you call me back to do that? Nah, you can't call me back to that. Now you'll get cut off. You can't call me back to do that. You don't talk your talk already and you want to call back. Don't do me that. Don't even bother with that. You surely you'll get cut off. Caller, good morning.
Brucey.
Morning.
How you going, Monks and George here?
Hey. Morning.
Yes. Right. Let me walk away from the radio. Mr. Kongpoint, let me talk to Mr. Kongpoint first. I hear he wants to find me. Mr. Kongpoint, I'm easy to find. If you know where Duzman Bar is, come right there and ask for the man with the house on the right over by Duzman there. A green house with borders around the window. Easy. Right? Bruce, Uncle Dominic, you see Miss Sawyer Fat and they don't take them on, no. They kind over spilt milk, as you rightly said, and I agree with that. If she was in the PNM, still, would have she said anything bad about that budget? No. Miss Sawyer Fat, we know in Tobago people like pork here bad. You see pigtail and dasheen bush, pigtail and this, pigtail and bhaji, all kind of thing with rice and dumpling and all sorts of things. Well, you coming to tell the people in Tobago to eat pigtail again because the finance minister take off VAT from it and it ain't good for health? Well, so many years Tobago people been eating pigtail. My father, who would have been 100 and something years old today, I know him eating pigtail. So come on, Mr. Efat. You all stop fooling people in Tobago for political reasons. You desperate. You like a drowning man out in the sea and can't even see a piece of bamboo to hold on to save your life. Come on. And this election that is coming, you would understand how people would deal with you all because they realize that you all are not real. When you're good on one side, yes, you say all the good things. Even if bad, you say it good. And from the time you're not there, that person is the worst. Come on. So Begonians, you all listen to these politicians properly. If you all listen to Mr. Ansel Dennis, how he speaks and what he says as a young man, listen to him and let us go with the good side. Do not be fooled by Watson Duke who talking about kakada in this modern time. What is kakada to the people who don't know about it? Understand? And as Mr. Chan says, vengeance and Mako going to fall on people who you see biting off the fingers that feed them. Uncle Bruce are gone until tomorrow. I will talk to you and Auntie Sharon again.
No problem. Take care.
Yeah.
Bruce, I see I see birthday greetings in order for our colleague Google.
Yes, I was going on to that in a bit, yes. Caller, good morning.
All right.
Morning. Sorry, if I know how much I put a pigtail now, it's $25 if I put a pigtail. See, you know what I do? So if you put, Lord, these people, you all have a blessed day.
Yeah, man, take care.
Bruce, as the caller made mention of that, and this was the other point I wanted to make with respect to Miss Soyafat Angus's contribution, is the fact that whether or not the government removes VAT doesn't change people's preference. If I like corned beef, I couldn't care if it have VAT, no VAT. I buy in corned beef. It's what I like. So these things, and this is the point that she needs to understand, that the government cannot regulate people's tastes and people's preferences with respect to what food they buy. So I will buy what I like.
Yeah.
If it is I like canned tuna, I will buy that. If I like pink salmon in the tin, I will buy that, regardless. So, I mean, I really don't understand the point where she's talking, but I mean, the minister maintained that there's still VAT on things like salt and sugar and these things, which is some effort, some attempt towards, pushing that type of healthy eating. But again, the government cannot tell people what to buy with their money.
That's right.
So you had to want to live healthy and buy things because even living healthy, Bruce, and eating healthy is very expensive.
Oh, yes. I could tell you that. I could tell you that. The supplement costs $460 a weekend. Yeah. Oh. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Bruce.
Morning, Mother.
Dominic. Sharon, morning. You getting any feedback there?
No.
All right. Now, my thing is, I am wondering if the pig farmers have to go out of lively business because they can't mind pigs without tails, and they are trying to put down this industry. I know of a supermarket, when you go in there, the pigtails, they cut up so nice that you have to take up about 4 or 5 packs and put them away for when you're ready to flavor up your pot. So I can't understand why, since when pigtail gone out of fashion, what happened to all the years? Why they didn't talk against it? Why now? Because the finance minister mentioned it. Eh? And he said if he mentioned, for instance, like chickens and all this sort of thing, and maybe he has said it wrong in the wrong way. The local people who are mining chickens is something, to me, what I gathered, it may affect them with the prices and all these sort of things. So what it is they want? They're only looking for something to make a confusion and not looking to upgrade whatever the budget said. Okay.
So guys, remember in 3 minutes time, I have a song, a new Parang song to play for you. Yes, it's by one of our favorite artists. I ain't calling no name as I play the song, and then we will talk that. So in the meantime, I'm continuing to take your calls. Caller, good morning.
Good morning to you, Bruce. Good morning to you, Dominic.
I hardly hear anybody.
Yeah, I hear me now.
Nice, go ahead.
Yes, good morning to you.
Morning.
Good morning to you, Dominic. Good morning to Mr.
Morning, sir.
Yeah. Dominic, right now, I am doing some research on because I'm hearing 7,000 food items that Kamala move VAT offer. And it seems that it's a lie. It seems that it's not 7,000 food items Kamala move offer. It's about like 20 to 15 items she move food offer. I am going through this right now. I'm now getting somebody list of what items that the food that move on, because you see these MPs and them on the opposition side, especially the Frank one them who pushing that kind of agenda, come now move 7,000 from food items and anything. It's a blatant lie. And we are calling on this Tanko to apologize to this country by telling this country that the 7,000 food items come and move at offer. Blatant lie. Blatant lie. And as we do the research, we are seeing that somebody trying to make poor people food look bad. Because I never see, and poor people self will eat that same poor people food. The media making fun of it. Means them making fun of steak. Means them making fun of the curry. Means seeing that. Why they making fun of curry? But it is such a racist thing what's going on. Because I know certain religion who eat pig and they don't kill animal. But not me. I love my pig. I love my pork. And who don't kill animal, that is a business. Who does pig and pork, I kill them and eat it here. I don't, but I'm common thing, kill it. I kill my cow. Fast, and eat it. I love my beef. So don't do those kind of things. Do these kind of things. And I want to dismiss that 7,000 food items. What is a miss going along and a fast going along where these UNC people pushing that 7,000. Really facts. That's not the facts. It is not the facts. Stop lying. Stop telling people 7,000 food items come along with offer. Blatant lie. Naturally nasty lie. And we must dismiss that. Dominic, I asked you to go and do that research. It is not 7,000 items that Kamala Prasad move that offer. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So guys, hold your calls. This is the time here now when we have a tune to release, because Mr. Dominic asked me a question the other day and I told Dominic soon come. So right about now, And I am calling it the world premiere. The world premiere of, what to put it, boy? This is my artist. I saying so bold.
Should I get right there?
Huh?
Get it right.
It is the world premiere of his 2021 Christmas Parang season. How should I say? Boy, watch me, the tune's so big. The tune's so big. But this is his contribution for the 2021 Christmas Parang season. And when I start to play the song, you will know the artist.
E-R-X Bongo S again. Yeah, well, I come to teach all about Parang and South. Let me explain it. Well, Christmas morning, I calling my friends. Say bring your instrument and yes, they gather all of them. We making a plan. Who we hitting first and what song we singing and who doing the first, so that is Parang, Parang, Parang.
Turn it up. Turn on the bass line, Joe. Squeeze.
Introducing the man called Bongo Spear. Remember heard it here, right? On the street line on 9 FM. Titans of Democracy.
S again. Yeah, well, I come to teach all about Parang and South. Let me explain it.
That is Parang 2021. Let's go.
Well, Christmas morning, I calling my friends. Say bring your instrument and yes, they gather all of them. We making a plan. Who we hitting first and what song we singing and who doing the first, so that is Parang, Parang, Parang. Yeah, where I come from. Yeah. Parang, Parang. Well, that is Parang, Parang, Parang. We drinks in me hand. Parang, Parang. Yeah, man. Well, on to the next house. I'm feeling nice. You have to leave the people glass, but you can take the ice. We singing one more song because we don't stick. And well, we shake the neighbor gate with pure Parang music. Well, that is Parang, Parang, Parang. Hey, where I come from. Parang, Parang. Follow Seco Gang. Parang, Parang. Instruments in me have. Parang, Parang. We hitting the 10th house. It's Parang with pace, but something smelling awfully now say in the people place. When I turn around to the man on the base, I notice he have dog mess on his shoes and his shoelace, but that is Parang, Parang, Parang. Hey, where we come from? Parang, Parang. Well, that is Parang, Parang, Parang.
He never fails, never fails. The man Bongo Spear.
House number 20. Can't remember first. I cannot hear the G-sharp cause the quattro string it burst. Everybody real tight. I kick in the ground. When the man rock man he fall down in the drain and nearly drown. Well, that is Parang, Parang, Parang. Yeah, where we come from. Parang, Parang. Is man and woman. Parang, Parang. We drinks and we have Parang, Parang. Yeah.
Dominic. Socks, can you?
The man make me want to go and invest in that pair Shack test.
Bongo, blessed morning, my brother. Blessed morning as usual.
It dies.
On point. Can't stop you, my
Bruce,
brother.
where you say the man have any shoes or the shoelace?
Boy, watch me. I talking to Bongo Spear the other day and I say, brother, but will you just come up with that thing, boy? Always on point, always on point. Respect and manners, my brother.
Yeah, man.
I tell you when he come, he's a fella could just turn away and say, you're not big. I didn't even say whether he ate yet. You're not that big because I know consistency. Bongo Spear, blessed morning to you, my brother. Well done.
I just hope that the radio stations do the man song justice this year. Can't find the one last year they didn't really give it justice.
They give you some trouble, but I nothing.
Yeah.
I want to see them fight this.
Yeah, because I've heard some new ones on some other frequencies that can't match up to this, and they have it on rotation. So Bongo need to make sure. Yeah.
No one said boss here. It properly well boss. Only Titans boss it.
Nice.
Yeah, the Titans boss it. Boss, they can't fight it. They can do what they want. They can't fight it. They will lie down by it this year. I say that. I say that. And watch me as the safe zone DJ. Fix my clothes. You know you will hear me playing it a lot.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So guys, call me up.
He has the video for it yet, or
that'll be doing this weekend.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So we'll be seeing that as one of the videos on the street.
Yes, of course. Yes,
nice.
that has to be in rotation here. Hey.
Nice.
According to my partner, we just do things that kind of way here. Oh God, guys, call me up 342-00814665391. Caller, good morning.
Good morning to you, Bruce.
Morning.
And to Dominic, top of the morning to you all. And morning Sauce, Mr. Chance, Miss Monica. Now, Kingsley, I must say well done. You know, I always wonder about the media in Trinidad and Tobago, if they do their fact-checking about this 7,000 goods that they move. Kingsley, if you're correct, it's about 5 or 6 items. You understand? And people buying that wholesale, the media don't check nothing, but they are the worst. They don't check anything. Fact check. Somebody says 7,000, show us the 7,000 items. Now, to the matter at hand. We live in a democracy where people are free to choose what they want to eat, what they want to drink. And all who talking about pigtail and whatever. Do you tell people not to buy chicken and chips? Do you tell people not to drink rum? When the bar owners were clamoring to open, rum eating up people's liver. People were going before the bars and clamoring and the opposition saying, open the bars and all this kind of thing. Do you tell people not to buy doubles? The nutritionists will tell you flour, too much of flour and all this thing. The chana is good, but too much of flour and grease, not good for your stomach. Do we tell people not to? People are so selective and so biased in their thing. And at Christmas time, all who talking about pigtail, they go in and buy the big leg of ham. Where do you think the ham come from? And they buy the pork, and they go and get the beef steaks. All these things ain't good. Red meat ain't good for men, with the prostate and all of that. But they still eat it. Now, it's not how much you eat, but when you eat, not how much you eat, but when you eat, how much you eat and so on. Too much of anything ain't good for you. So please, get off the pigtail thing. You understand? If you're condemning one, condemn all. But it is a democracy. People choose. People are free to choose what they want to eat and drink. Thank you, my dear.
Thank you. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Bruce and Dominic. Bruce and Dominic, what is poor people food? Could you tell me?
Morning.
Because I saw the rich one is eating the poor people food and nobody knows. So what is the poor people food? Bye, have a best day.
I like that. What is the poor people food, Dominic? You could answer that?
That's a good question.
What is the poor people food? Because they say...
I think anything that is exclusive to poor people that the wealthy people don't eat.
Yeah, right.
When you're accustomed saying something or repeating something, Bruce, and it's like, you don't even stop to think, but it's really making any sense? I just says, I told my ear all the time, so I'll use it. Yeah.
Well, poor people food will look good, yes. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Bruce.
Oi, Manu.
Morning, Dominic. Morning,
hey, Manu.
And the Bago. But Bruce,
oi.
These people have nothing else to say, nothing else. They see that budget. The budget have not had a meaning.
They thought it would be so bad so that they get a bad of everything. I don't eat pigtail. If anybody wants pigtail, I the whole hog. If they can get the whole hog, I don't eat pigtail. And think, but at the same time, the majority of people in Trinidad and Tobago eat pigtail with a callaloo, with a oridong, with a whatever the case is. And things I find, listen, I tell myself that things are good and better than it was, because when in this pandemic, when everything was so going sky and everybody expecting things to go skyrocket, look at the kind of budget they come and get. And nice, but some people come and say they're spreading bad rate. Next week, TNT go raise the light and water go raise the water. All the people always do not listen to these stupid people. Do not listen to these dumb people. Wait and see. If something has to raise because of the commodity and whatever, it has to raise. The Prime Minister would not raise something just to make money. This is a country billionaire, and we have to build it properly, and we have to build it nice and soft. Let me tell you something. Get all your mind in gear before you operate all your mouth. You will see people. Or let your Kingsley jumping over easy. All right. Oh, God. Come on, man.
Caller, good morning.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Bruce.
Don't make joke. Merry Christmas, my brother.
How are you, sir?
I doing good. How you doing?
Well, I ain't doing as well as you.
Why you say that? Why you say that?
Because some of pigtail all they carrying up back here eat none. Mr. Dominic, sir.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
I am good. Can't complain. Long time I ain't here.
Nice. Don't complain at all, because anytime we complain, we lost.
Yeah.
But Mr. Brucey and Mr. Dominic, what I want to let people know, the same poor people food they're talking about is the same poor people food that our people just cook for them to eat. You hear, Mr. Bruce?
Yeah, yeah.
Because in the old time days, when the Caucasians and them eating the meat, they used to cut off like the chicken foot, the wing, and all them things. You hear? Because they want the pure meat itself. And the same chicken foot and chicken wing is where the poor people used to take and cook. And the same people who throwing away that used to turn back and eat the same food, because they wanted to know how poor people preparing this food tasting so good. You hear, Papa Bruce?
Yeah.
So all the poor people food that they'll be talking about, you hear, is where we is today, Brother Bruce. Is we have the strength in we, Brother Bruce, because we know how to prepare whatever food come down. We know how to prepare it to put in we consumption, Brother Bruce. So forget them people and the poor people food and all kind of crap, and let we study the nation at Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, big brother?
Yeah, man.
So you all have a Merry Christmas, have a blessed one, and take care. And now get back in connection so I could talk to you.
Nice, I like that.
Right?
I like that, nice.
So stay safe, Miss Sharon, Felix. All the blessings to you, my dear. Sorry for not talking to you for a while, but I'm still around. Peace and blessings, and all you take care for me, please. Thank you.
Yes,
thank you very much, Mr. Bruce and Mr. Dominic.
And Merry Christmas to you, my brother.
Merry Christmas, big brother.
Caller, good morning.
A pleasant good morning to my two handsome sons.
Morning, mother.
So long I ain't
Morning, mother.
Can't get in. Dominic, my lover punch.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you? I will say every morning it is sending love to me. I thank you and appreciate it. You see those sending love to me. Good morning, brother Sterling. It's so nice hearing your voice. After such a long time, we were inquiring about you, you know. God is good. He keep you by his mercies. Good morning to Mr. Felix. Good morning, Sharon, my lover, darling Punch. Angie, Mr. Chance, and all you folks out there. A pleasant and a good morning to you all. Dominic, if you know, I love my pigtail. Dominic and do whatever I love pigtail and so pigtail when someone cries. And the government security, like you hear the cry.
And right now I have a Christian in bed with me, vital supply. So who don't want to do this drug? You see, they could afford to buy these upstairs, you know. They could afford to buy all them kind of things they sold. So anything that the government trying to put in place to help us poor people, they have a problem with it. But I'm telling you that Kamala and she groups of millions, the whole bunch of vagabonds and cooks. And Kamala can't come back. They're the only person to save the UNC. But the honorable man they call Mr. Vastan Barat. And they're not going to give him that chance. So therefore, under no circumstances, I ain't saying the UNC might not come back, but this Kamala, she's not coming back. That woman is a real, I have never seen any woman like that one in my born life. In my life, I want to come back a man the next time. I don't want to come. She makes women shame. She makes us so bad. Because them men and them who she have around there who using her, they using her. Kamala ain't no leader, you know. Kamala is a follower, you know. That woman that follows all the writing and the reading, and when she reading, then she following. She don't have the somebody that says, Dominic. She's a tenacity to be is like you, like good Dominic.
Yeah.
Dominic, tell me about it. She don't have the testicular fortitude or the testicular fortitude to be no leader. She has to follow the man and them all the time. You understand? She leading on that bribe. But that's on that bribe meaning she has to get killed and the whole sudden move behind she there. She has to grease them for the work for she. Kamala can't win no election again in her life. So let me worry with that woman. She's not coming back. And let's everybody, you know, Mother love all you. Mother keep all in our prayers and create the PNM and it shall prevail. Okay, darlings, I love all you.
Take care. So guys, as usual, time flies when we're having fun. So my daily word for today is guidance. I trust my guidance and feel peaceful and comforted. The best way I can distinguish inner guidance from the activity of a busy mind is to notice my feelings. When faced with a decision, do I feel anxious and fearful, calm and peaceful? Do I feel uneasy and apprehensive, or do I feel excited and eager? I trust that feelings are signals showing me true path, inspired by inner guidance. I may consider the opinions of others, facts and other data, and my personal history when making choices. Each has its place in the decision-making process, but none is more important than inner guidance. I remember times when I felt guided to make an unlikely choice, how I trusted my inner voice to lead me in new directions. Today, I renew my trust and again follow my guidance. You are indeed my rock and my fortress. For your name's sake, lead me and guide me. Psalm 31:3. So guys, it's basically the time we have for today. It was a pleasure being in your company. It was a pleasure having you in ours. And before we leave, I will play that bongo spear again. The name of the song is That Is Parang. So hey.
Can you extend birthday greetings to your colleague?
Well, Pastor Google, my brother. Happy birthday to you, my brother, because I know you're going to knock me on my head when you see my chest. Pastor Google, my brother, happy birthday to you. I know the Heavenly Father will bless you to see many, many, many more, and I know you're going to enjoy your day today. My brother, don't worry, when I come downstairs, you might drink a little juice. You drink a two juice.
I hope it's juice, sir.
Yeah, it's juice, it's juice. It's juice. I'm not encouraging my boy that, it's juice.
Right.
Oh God. So guys, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Please God. Dominic is on Sunday, please God.
Yes, yes.
I'll be here tomorrow with the lovely Miss Sharon Felix. So Dominic, as we say, my brother.
Ciao.
See you guys.
Again. Yeah, well, I come to teach all about Parang and South. Let me explain it. Well, Christmas morning, I calling my friends. Say bring your instrument and yes, they gather all of them. We making a plan. Who we hitting first and what song we singing and who doing the verse. So that is Parang, Parang, Parang. Yeah, where I come from. Parang, Parang. Well, that is Parang, Parang, Parang. We drinks in we hand. Parang, Parang. Yeah, man. Well, on to the next house. I'm feeling nice. You have to leave the people glass, but you can take the ice. We singing one more song because we don't stick. And well, we shake the neighbor gate with pure Parang music. Well, that is Parang, Parang, Parang. Hey, where I come from? Parang, Parang. Palo Seco gang. Parang, Parang. Instruments in we have. Parang, Parang. We hitting the 10th house. It's Parang with bass, but something smelling off, we know, say in the people place. When I turn around to the man on the bass, I notice he have dog mess on his shoes and his shoelace, but that is Parang, Parang, Parang. Hey, where we come from? Parang, Parang. Well, that is Parang, Parang, Parang. Want to understand? Parang, Parang. Yeah, man. House number 20. Can't remember first. I cannot hear the G-sharp cause the quattro string it first. Everybody real tight. I kick in the ground. When the man rock man he fall down in the drain and nearly drown. Well, that is Parang, Parang, Parang. Yeah, where we come from? Parang, Parang. This man and woman. Parang, Parang. We drinks and we have. Parang, Parang. Yeah.
DJ Bruce Wayne.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management